Today's was the June 11th. What number is this?
I don't know. June 11th.
June 11th, okay. All right, welcome everyone. I think we're just gonna start by introducing ourselves.
Olivia Jesus, board member.
I'm Argelia Ortiz, board member.
Andrew Diaz, a senior freight planner at New York City DOT.
I'm Taylor Richards. I'm a bus planner at MTA.
Jonathan Flynn, Assistant Director of Government Communications for MTA.
Rob Thompson, Acting Director of Bus Planning for Manhattan House at MTA.
Bus planning, that's it. Did you say bus planning?
Bus Planning.
All right, cool.
Good, got a question for you.
Kevin Perez, Bronx Borough Planner for New York City DOT's Commissioner's Office.
You Kevin Perez?
Herman Francis, committee member and neighborhood resident.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Madrigal. I'm a committee member.
Ron Lugo, public member.
Josephine Byrne, committee member, board member. Now we can say.
Yeah.
The public member, you would say,
Stephen Palmer, Community Coordinator.
Anthony Jordan, District Manager to the board. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chairman. We have a full agenda tonight. Today we have the New York City Department of Transportation, Office of the Bronx Borough Commissioner, along with our colleagues at MTA. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a reminder that our meeting is being broadcast live on our social media platforms, including our YouTube. If you speak for the first time, please say your first and last name for our audio device to be able to keep accurate notes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. So we'll start with the presentation, right?
My name is Kevin Perez. I'm with New York City DOT's Bronx Borough Commissioner's Office.
Hey,
I'm here with
Take deep breaths, go.
our freight mobility team and MTA, and they'll be presenting safety improvements for Port Morris IBC area.
Do you want me to stand up there or is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a clicker, so you have to manually,
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
The other one.
that'll be next fiscal year.
That's okay. All right, hello everyone. Again, Andrew Diaz from the Freight Mobility Office, Senior Freight Planner, here to talk about the Port Morris Industrial Business Zone, first street improvement project we're working on. Next slide. So I guess just a brief overview of the presentation. We're going through background of the project, existing conditions, our proposal, as well as next steps. So just jumping into background, a little bit of what Freight Mobility does. A lot of our work is outlined in Delivering New York, which is a plan that came out a few years ago. There's a list of strategies outlined that our unit follows as we do a lot of our work within the agency, mostly focused on safety, sustainability, freight efficiency, and expanding our partnerships as well as our knowledge of freight activity. A lot of also what we focus on are truck priority safety corridors, which are streets that have high instances of truck fatalities or interactions with vulnerable road users such as pedestrians or cyclists, as well as improving safety on our existing truck route network. Also a part of that is updating the truck route network, which was required by us by local law 171 last year, which is the next slide. So in response to this local law, we were required to update the truck route network essentially to improve freight efficiency and promote safety and sustainability, as well as improve movement, goods movement. So some of these proposed changes, still in the proposal phase, are adding a few local truck routes to the network in CB1. Everything in orange. I think you guys have it in black and white, so East 141st, 140th, East 135th, East 132nd, one of the locusts are being proposed as local truck routes in the neighborhood of the Port Morris IBZ. As you know, Port Morris overlaps with the industrial business zone itself, and there's few local truck routes in the area besides East 138th Street. And in addition to these new routes proposed, we will be proposing safety enhancements as well. So just a brief overview of what the truck routes are. There are three distinctions in New York City, and also clarify that truck routes restrict commercial vehicle movement to specific routes. So trucks are only allowed to go off the route if they are making a local delivery. They're not allowed to go off the route for a shortcut or to avoid traffic. And to go through the distinctions, local truck routes are designated for deliveries only within the borough. And through truck routes, such as our interstates and large arterials, they have neither origin nor destination within the same borough. So anywhere essentially within the city to get around. And then limited local truck routes are nowhere in the Bronx, so we don't have to worry about that. They're only in Staten Island. And I did mention they're not only allowed to leave for the local deliveries. And then as we work to enhance the truck route network, we're working with the Borough Commissioner's Office to coordinate with NYPD to enforce this activity. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the Port Morris area for the IBZ itself. As I mentioned, East 138 is a Vision Zero and truck priority safety corridor with multiple instances of truck-involved crashes with vulnerable road users. Again, here's a list of all the streets that are being added to the truck route network as local truck routes. The area also overlaps with the senior area, as well as there are many bike connections throughout the neighborhood that get that go to Randall's Island through the Randall's Island connector, or just getting around the neighborhood in general. And then, of course, we know that local highways play a factor in the number of vehicles that utilize local roads in and around the neighborhood. Next slide. So as part of our data analysis, we looked at the crash data from over the past 5 years. We found that 176 crashes total, there was 176 crashes total throughout the project area from 2021 to 2025. 23 of that 176 were severely injured. Fortunately, nobody was killed during this time period, and we'll just keep it that way. Of the 23, 4 were pedestrians, 15 were motor vehicle occupants, and 4 were motorized two-wheelers. We also found that over 17% of motor vehicle crashes that occurred were because of side swipes, and also over 46% of injuries that happened in the neighborhood were from pedestrians crossing mid-block. So we did numerous site visits over the past couple months, walking the neighborhood and just kind of identifying what sort of the problem areas were. We definitely saw that the crash data confirms this. There are always frequent right turn related crashes on various intersections, specifically around East 135th and St. Anne's, Brick and Bruckner, and then on Bruckner near 141st and 140th. We also noticed that some of the narrow roadways, specifically Walnut and Locust, created routing issues, specifically with larger vehicles, and creating issues with trucks and buses trying to pass simultaneously that they essentially couldn't do it. We also noticed, because of the narrow streets, that's where most of the side swipes were very present. And also trucks or vehicles and trucks were parking on the sidewalks in the area. And then over here, where this area where there's more of the bike lanes, we noticed a lot of conflicts with the bikes and pedestrians and other vehicles. So this kind of just.
So when you, can we ask a question?
I think it's on which the station.
I'll wait for the
What do we got?
All right, I'll get back to that.
Okay. So as a part of our existing conditions, these are just some of the photos that we saw, or note from some of the problems that we saw. The narrow corridors here on Locust, where it's impossible for 2 vehicles to pass by simultaneously. Trucks parking and blocking the bike lanes.
Yeah, right from my business.
Cyclists utilizing the roadway on the Randall's Island connector. This is Willow over there, so that's where they would come down to get to the Randall's Island connector. Next slide, again, large vehicles in the area. Cyclists riding in the crosswalk, mainly due to the blocked bike lanes from the last slide. And then again, more of that narrow movement reduced to the limit because of the narrow geometry. So what are we proposing?
Yeah, I want to see this.
So part of our proposal is one-way conversions of Walnut Avenue and Locust Avenue. Essentially, this improvement would come with channelization as well as hardened vertical elements and no standing regulations at select intersections to kind of improve visibility as well as turning movements and allowing vehicles to pass by, and ease maneuverability overall just because of that conflict right now that exists. Some of these benefits of this would include reducing the conflict between opposing turns, a decreased chance in the side swipes that we're noticing, and hopefully moving vehicles off the sidewalk back into the roadway and reducing some of that damage that's occurring as of right now. And hopefully improving vehicle movement and circulation throughout the neighborhood as a whole. So this is a proposal of what this would look like. Walnut and locust, locust on the bottom, walnut on the top. Here you would see some of that channelization with the hardened elements to free up the corner space and allow vehicles and specifically bus movements to turn with ease down Walnut. This would include some of the no standing signage as well to increase pedestrian visibility and vehicle visibility as we're making those turns or just getting around the neighborhood overall.
Can you just speak to what channelization for those who are not are planning? Context doesn't know what that may mean.
I think I have a picture of it, but channelization, it was essentially just white boxes with crosses in the.
In no Concord Park, yeah.
Yeah, so it just it allows for
Just
more.
like to understand.
It's basically the same thing as daylighting, is it not?
Yes and no. It's a form of daylighting.
Okay.
Next slide, and I will pass it to MTA to talk about the bus reroute.
Yeah. I'll come up here. So since Walnut Avenue and Locust Avenue will be converting to one-way only, with Walnut Avenue becoming southbound only and Locust Avenue becoming northbound only, this will necessitate a short reroute of the BX33 bus. So, you can see here in blue, this is the existing path that will stay the same. So buses that are coming eastbound from Harlem, right now, they come down, they loop around, and they go back up, Harlem bound buses, the terminal is here, so they stop, the terminal is here. So, they stop your discharge, and when they start their new route to go back towards Harlem, they go up Walnut Ave. But now, since Walnut Ave is gonna be converted to a one-way southbound only, they're just gonna continue this way and then north up Locust Ave and then connect back with the existing path. Thanks. So along with that, 2 bus stops are gonna need to be moved. So this is the existing terminal where the buses end their route and begin their route. So we're just gonna move it around the corner here onto East 132nd Street to start their route, or to end their route and start their route as well. And this is a northbound bus stop that will not be accessible anymore. So we're just gonna move that around the corner as well onto Locust Avenue. And that's it.
Just to continue on, thank you, Taylor. Just to continue on with other safety improvements for the neighborhood. This is 135th and St. Anne's. I'm sure some of you are familiar with 135th and the outdated markings that currently exist on the roadway. So we're looking to update the markings and clarify what the lane assignments are for this roadway. It really is only a 2-way road, so we're putting the lane markings back in to clarify where vehicles should be, and then putting painted spaces with, I don't know if you can see it on the drawing right here, but these little white boxes are granite blocks, hardened elements to protect pedestrians in this space with vehicles making the turns. They won't be as large as they look in this image. We are running turn analysis to see if buses and turning movement, larger vehicles can still make the turn, especially onto St. Anne's. Here is the Randall's Island connector at 132nd. Again, this would be updating those lane markings as well for pedestrian or for cyclists and vehicles so that they know where the cyclists are and also where the cyclists should follow onto the correct bike path, because as of right now, they are led onto the sidewalk in this area, but they don't do that as of now, they use the roadway. And other safety enhancements, would be some right turn calming, this is an example. This, if you can see it, it's a yellow, markings with, two, I guess, circular areas inside, those are what we call armadillos, or just little bumps in the road that slow vehicles down when they're making right turns. And then for, St. Anne's and Bruckner, as of now, this area is just a painted space. We're proposing building it out in concrete so that vehicles, as you saw in one of the pictures previously, wouldn't double park here anymore and block the bike lane. And requiring bikes to, use the crosswalks when they should be using the bike lane. So overall, benefits of our, we're hoping to improve circulation essentially in the neighborhood, who access and egress throughout the industrial business zone, so there's better traffic flow, for buses and trucks utilizing the neighborhood, as well as providing updated crossings for cyclists, and shortening some of those crossing distances as well for more pedestrian safety, as well as traffic calming measures with the right turns and the concrete island, and overall slowing turning movements to reduce some of those right turn crashes we've seen continuously in the crash data. And then overall improving accessibility just in the project area as a whole. And then next steps. So yesterday we presented to the elected officials in the borough president office and gave them a heads up with the project as well. And today we're presenting to you all. And then in the summer, hopefully beginning our reach to some of the local businesses as well. We're hoping to begin a late summer, early fall kickoff. I know with the timeline of the BX33, they can't do it until the fall, so we want to line up our project with that. And then after implementation, we'll be monitoring and doing data collection as well to look at the improvements overall and see what's working and what's not, and make adjustments where necessary. And that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So, it's so ironic how you have my issues on this presentation. Because I own a building on the corner of 135th and Brooklyn Boulevard. You see the last slide that you just did?
Yeah.
I'm sick of that. I'm sick of them parking their trucks there.
Yeah.
There's a truck that's been parked there for 7 months.
Is it that guy right there?
Yeah, but now he moved to where the ambulance is, down there. And that ambulance, that's the tire shop. I told him numerous times to stop parking in the bus lane because I almost got hit crossing with a bike coming through, and I'm like, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
I went to the precinct, I complained, they went to the owner, and they spoke to him, and all he did was yeah, but they haven't followed through on like citations and
Yeah.
stuff like that because that's illegal, and I'm sick of it. And then he also puts his tires, all the tires on the bus lanes every day, and I'm sick of it. So I'm glad that you guys are actually gonna start implementing changes in the area, because that's gonna benefit me, because it's a safety concern for me. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Let me inquire about, you spoke about the Bronx bus 33 on that side, and I'm glad to see those changes made. I think it's very necessary. I'm curious about that Willis Avenue Bridge section where the M125 goes into, okay, that it doesn't have a pedestrian walk. It seems to be only for the bike lane. That's all the way on that Willis Avenue Bridge that goes into Harlem.
That's
Harlem
outside
bound.
of the scope
that's
of this.
outside the scope.
Yeah.
You got 132nd and you got Buckley Boulevard, 132nd.
Yes, right before it starts, that bridge.
Right,
That's
right,
Willis
right.
Avenue. Yeah.
Right, no, Lincoln.
And then Lincoln, yeah.
Yes, you're right, Alexander Avenue, you're right. And interesting
It's
enough,
No,
yes, going into,
Oh yeah, it's outside the scope of the
The
project.
third,
Okay,
the
so
Third
that's-
Avenue Bridge to go over.
yes, but I noticed that there's only a bicycle lane there, and it's really impossible for pedestrians.
Yeah,
So
if
come
if
to
the
that
board can
with-
send us something, over email regarding your concern, and, we can look into it.
Okay.
This is important information that we will only be able to speak into what's in this scope germane to
Particularly,
this subject.
okay, well, I'll touch base with you later on and email you, thank you. And well, thank you for your info.
Over how long a period of time did you guys sort of walk through the areas to investigate what was going on? Because on any given day, things could change.
Yeah.
And it's always important to maybe include either some of the community people or the community board in your walkthroughs, because we can lend you a lot of vital information as to, okay, this is not how it usually is here, or yes, this is how it usually is. And you need to come back on a day where you could see the actual what's happening.
Yeah, that's a great point. We did 4 walkthroughs plus 6 total walkthroughs. 4 were of us actually walking the neighborhood, and 2 days of us were spending a couple hours looking at traffic just on Walnut and Locust, just to identify some of the traffic issues that we've seen in our data. So if you wanted to ground truth it, but yeah, we did we did 2 mornings in the winter and then 2 afternoons, and then we came back in the spring and did another afternoon. But if there's a walkthrough you want us to do, we could potentially do it as well.
Yeah, I wanna be part of that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Josephine Byrne, I forgot my name.
Oh, yeah, Audrey de Jesus.
Yeah, the summer walkthrough is different, will be different than a winter walkthrough. Because I
Absolutely.
see we really need that more during the summer than the winter time or spring. Because the traffic is less and it's specific during the winter and spring, but summer, everything goes.
I would just say that given the timeline for implementation, it would be, summer rather than closer to winter. And, we can talk about it with Anthony, see what could be done.
I have one last question. So based on she was talking about rerouting, so what was the reasoning to having Walnut come the way they did instead of northbound?
Our data showed that there's more traffic that comes southbound on Walnut, especially as cars are coming here.
Sure, I'm one of them.
On 140.
I'm one of
You're
them.
one of them. It's cuts out, but yeah, our data showed that more people are using 140 than coming down Walnut this way. There was more people going north on Locust, but it's still not a lot of traffic overall.
So so the idea is that it's just gonna be a one-way that way southbound, and then Locust is gonna take northbound straight up?
Yep.
Okay, I'm with it.
None of the side streets will be touched for the directionality.
Because I see the amount of traffic that does come from 140, and I'm driving and I'm leaving, because they're coming and there's trucks here and it's so narrow.
Mhm.
So I'm glad that they're actually putting this into that plan.
Because 138 is so backed up getting onto, the
Bruckner,
Bruckner.
And the George
It
Washington.
sometimes reroutes you through Walnut,
Mhm.
Correct.
to go all the way down to Walnut and then come around in the opposite direction to get on.
Yeah. And also there's left turn restrictions on 138 for trucks.
That's right.
Right.
So they can't make it. So they have to come either at 140.
Good presentation, thank
I
you.
have a question, Chairman.
Yes.
Thank you. Anthony George, District Manager to the board. Let's go back to the bus rerouting. The 32 bus has been traditionally the bus that's been elimination of stops, rerouting and so on. And so I want to talk about that. What residential units are there all business associated with that and within the area? And how has an estimate or estimate been about what the impact may be? Safety, so on, because when you have a likely a bus track, there's I would imagine that's the complexity of people who's gonna be engaged with crime is definitely well lit, et cetera. So how will it impact the businesses, people who work in that area, or residential units if any are back there? Was that taken into consideration when the study was done?
I know this one.
I mean, are you talking about like later hours of the day?
So yeah, so now you're eliminating the Walnut, where the buses will go back up and go to the area, right? I have to do an analysis, but how many residential units are, if any, or
None.
businesses are in the area?
So there's plenty of businesses, but,
To my knowledge, this is mostly,
yeah, that's only
Industrial, right?
industrial, yeah.
So how much
So-
lighting is gonna be introduced into those stations or things in that respect? Cause light safety is gonna be a issue.
Yeah, well,
Because you're eliminating from one spot where I'm assuming there's some sort of lighting or is those businesses like, I would feel more comfortable if I was a business who was on that area, I work late, I know the bus is gonna almost stop all the time near or close by to my business. I can get a lot more out of my team, especially if I have a team who does overnights or whatever, and so on. And so with the change now, you're going closer to the waterfront, is my understanding, right?
yeah.
So has any interaction with the businesses there been, discussion that happened to discuss what will be the likely impact of the switching over one block over? I know that it seems that everything's only a block over, it should be nothing, but I just wanted to know how have you engaged those businesses in your study?
Well, we have not engaged
Yeah,
with the
that's part of our
businesses
next
yet.
steps.
Yeah.
Is to do.
So let's say, I was trying to back it up into it, but you must have done this before. So what I'm interested, because I'm definitely am serious, is a bus stop is safe.
Yeah.
It's lit by the street light, it's usually under the street light, it's usually lit by, you put a station there versus the seats you've been putting, whatever. There's not much lighting that may not likely be used in those areas. Do we know if you're putting two stops, it has a guesstimate, how many people normally will use those two stops, get off or either get on?
So I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but can you go back to I don't have all the bus stops in the area. Can you go one more? So this one is close to some local businesses. And I'm not sure the lighting situation there, but there is one across the street that goes southbound. So
Right.
even though this one's moving, I guess maybe there's still gonna be lighting in that area. And then
But
this one,
that's changed to one way though, right? Walnut is being changed to one way, right? So
southbound only, yeah.
what is that about? So it's not gonna be two, because it's gonna be.
No, so it's gonna go from 2 bus stops in this one block, just to 1. So there will still be buses going on this block specifically.
I would love to learn what is the economic impact to the business, because again, if I'm an industrial business, I was enjoying likely having the ability to have team members come in, stay overnight, stuff like that. So because that's our job is to focus on everything while we want to make sure we do improvements. So that's one, and two,
Cause there's a
how,
coffee shop
right? Well, we're not, the diners there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the stop that's across from the diner, well, there's one adjacent to the diner, but there's one across from the diner, and that's coming eastbound. So anybody who's on the bus, they can still get off at that stop to go to the diner.
And
That's right.
so what was it in front of
So-
the diner before?
Instead, like if you're getting out of the diner and you want to take the bus, then you have to go to Locust, then you have to go to this one.
Or you could walk north a few blocks to
Right.
138th Street.
Yeah, there's a stop up here too.
Yeah.
So then I'm very interested in it, if DOT is interested in more lighting, this is because people
we can look
over
into the-
distance or so on. So I just want to know what amenities have been added to make the changes, so that safety is a big thing, but also to ensure what could be the likely economic impact, because I just want to make sure that our constituents in there, especially those who work back there, we have a lot of different folks who work back there in those spaces. And then I would love to be lit, because like one of our colleagues said, we want to make sure that it's not a safety issue. People are hanging out, some things are happening that need to be happening back there, so we want to make sure that we represent those needs. Going now to the trucks. I know the best intentions of the issue that NYPD is going to pay closer attention to. Have they been part of this study and this conversation about the changes going to be made and what are likely their safety concerns in these areas for the trucks and for back here? How has NYPD been engaged?
So we will be sharing this with NYPD to engage on, if, any sort of concerns that they might have. But we do work with them closely when it comes to enforcement and during implementation of projects.
I say that because I've had a very passionate conversation with the NYPD Traffic Enforcement and Transportation Division, and there's little to none that's happening of them being engaged in this area of the South Bronx. And so I would love to talk about how are they promising and to deliver to support this initiative as we talk about the Vision Zero. Now, with the traffic, going back to the I'm sorry, Sheriff, may I continue?
No, go ahead.
Going back to the traffic, Vision Zero stuff, the numbers what have been the reasons why those, have there been analysis on why those injuries or crashes have happened? Impaired drivers, something else that led to the severe injuries, in those analysis that were taken? What were the factors in those incidents?
Yeah, I don't have that information off the top of my head, but it is in the crash data, so that is something we could share with you.
Because then that can always also talk to not only we need to change the patterns, we need to add extra things like speed bumps to slow down potential speeders, or we're gonna add other stuff. And so I'm just interested, what are, besides this changing the patterns, adding back lanes, or doing other things that are going to change. Hopefully people are slowing down, not parking in places and creating less visibility when turning, et cetera. I'd love to learn why those numbers are where they are. Now, those are pretty high numbers.
Yeah.
So I get that from the Bowsio to now, we've been really homing in on trying to save every life. Not one life cannot be impacted. And so this is commendable that we're looking at this. And I see, Kevin, I'm always a passionate person talking about, how we can engage board members to be involved in the thought process and from the beginning, what we've been thinking before we move fast on this lane to be able to make things go forward where they are now, because you guys have a pretty fast track to get this out there, get people buy-in and interest and so on.
Yeah.
I want to ask MTA, when we make these changes, when you come make these presentations and we talk about numbers, who's using the buses, who's getting on, who's getting off, and again, economic development and so on, because that will help us to be able to really be able to provide real buy-in into what these changes can do for our district. Thank you, Chair.
Also,
Oh yeah, just a quick question. Thank you so much for your presentation. I just had a question when it comes to the Locust Avenue route. I'm not too familiar with the area. I just wanted to know what the current traffic flow would look like, or is looking like right now. And with this amended change, would that strain that avenue, especially with all these new trucks coming in?
This is
Especially
like
during peak hours? Yeah.
Wow.
There's only 15 cars who use it in an hour,
Okay, got it.
or we go south. So as we're already noticing 15 cars going north.
Got it.
So, and then more vehicles, like this is 132nd, so vehicles making a left turn, 22, one going through because it's a business.
Yeah.
Four making a right, so volumes are pretty low right now, so,
Volumes, okay.
yeah. As from our analysis, it's not really making a large impact to the area.
Got it. Thank you.
So you're not really inconveniencing anybody by making it a one-way that way,
Wait, that,
the flow and everything.
like going this way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
there's always one question that I think MTA probably be able to answer that is, in those kind of area that are not that much populated, more business area, do the 10 p.m. policy still exist with MTA or stop requested? Because this policy that's been, and MTA had this for a long time, where after 10 p.m. you can request a stop. Because it makes no sense in a deserted area that if my house is down 3 blocks down, the bus is stopped here, going that direction, can I not stop in front of my house?
I heard
So-
it stop.
Yeah,
Huh?
It's still active.
Yeah,
Well,
the policy still exists.
It's
Yeah.
not, the reason I say that is I've come to find out that a lot of people are not informed. And I don't know if it's a strategy for MTA not to have the driver being request too many stops, but it's for some of us that have been around that know that it exists, but I have never seen any publication that tell the consumer that after 10 p.m. you can make a stop request.
It used to have, when they had the maps your individual map you stick in your pocket. They had it printed on there that at a certain time you request to stop and everything else.
Yeah, because in those areas, I really am, I'm concerned about the bus going around, deserted area, and you have to get up and walk. When we talk about safety, that's part of safety too. And sometimes the bus will stop at area, the light is not really clear,
Well, see, you up another can of worms.
and you have to find a way to get home. So
Yeah,
I wonder if in those areas, we can make sure that
you see, you up can
there's
of
a sign that says, you know, the
We
stop
will-
request is possible within the bus.
The
Occupant here.
The solution is right there. New York State has a transit police, even though the state runs MTA. And have yet, ever since the state took it over, the transit police, they be stationed on the platform, but they don't ride the trains like they used to doing when Lindsay was mayor. And they used to ride the buses, but they don't even do that no more. So what have the transit police for? And that's what they do, stand around there, play with their cell phone, look at you.
So
Yes.
Jonathan from the MTA member, I'll look into that and see whether that is published somewhere, but I'll follow up with the.
Yeah, I think it would be,
It's
Good thing.
not common knowledge.
no,
Because
it's
I
not.
didn't know until Mr. Ambrose brought it up, and I've lived in the city for way over 70 years, so I've never heard of
Or,
it. Me neither.
I've had the experience of making a request and the bus driver just refuses
Well, and that,
altogether, and I did report it,
What time was
I did report it, it was 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, you supposed to.
And I asked the bus driver, could you please stop and such as, and no, I'm not gonna do that. I reported it.
well,
you know.
see, the problem is that that driver must be a driver that has never been instructed.
Yeah,
Because this is one of the things that I found to be a problem, which I think MTA, for some reason, the policy in the Bronx is different than the policy in Manhattan.
Yeah, because the people
I'll give you an
have.
example, for instance.
Yeah.
I work in Manhattan. You will see a bus driver stopping, waiting for a senior walk to the bus. It doesn't happen in the Bronx. It does not. On 149th Street, I've seen the light is red, the bus stop, right, on 149 Third Avenue, right? The bus stop is right there. A pregnant lady is running to the bus. The light is red. It takes off and stop at the light. I didn't have a video.
Well, let-
But in Manhattan, up to 96th Street, let me tell you, the bus drivers, they are sweet. As soon as they pass 96th Street, the behavior changes.
All good.
So, and I think that one of the reasons I say this is because I think the transit also has an obligation to get that cultural sensitivity to drivers. And some of them are us. You understand? Because they know that from down there, if they act, people are gonna pick up the phone and call and make a complaint. So then they react that way. Because we don't call 311, we don't complain, to hell with you. And I think that this is something that will lead through the Bronx here. You go down Third Avenue there, in a daily basis, you will see that.
Yeah,
The bus driver moving when people are running, get off the subway.
And knocking on the door, and they just look at them
They
and
just
keep
look
it
at them
moving.
and take off.
So sometimes it is at the discretion of the bus driver, depending on where they are.